A plastic cover is made for the pool. This is the pool from question 29. Remember, if you remember, that pool had a diameter of 24 and a radius of 12. The cover will rest on the top of the pool and will include a wedge-shaped flap that forms a 45-degree angle at the center of the cover, as shown in the figure below. A zipper will go along one side of the wedge-shaped flap and around the arc. Which of the following is closest to the length in feet of the zipper? So if you remember from question 29, the radius of that pool was 12. That's important to know because the cover was made for the pool. And that means it would have the same radius, which would be 12. What we have to find is this length here, which is the arc length. Let's call that x. If we can find the value of x, then we can find the length of the zipper because we already know this part here, which is 12. So what we're going to do is set up a proportion using the length of the circle and the measure of the circle. In the first ratio, we're going to be using the length. We want to find the arc length, so we're going to put x on top, and the length of the whole circle, which is the circumference of the circle, right? The circumference goes all the way around, and we know that circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. The measure of the central angle, which forms that arc, this is the central angle right here, which forms the arc. So that central angle is 45 degrees. And the measure of the entire circle, we know the measure of a circle is 360. So that would go at the bottom. So now let's substitute the value for the radius, because remember, the radius of the pool was 12, so we would have x over 2 pi times 12. And let's simplify this ratio on the right. 45 over 360 is the same as 1 over 8, because 8 times 45 is 360. All right, so that's going to give us x over 24. 2 times 12 is 24 pi, and 1 over 8. Now, remember, the nice thing about proportions is that we can simplify it not just vertically, but also horizontally. So if I look, I can see that 8 goes into 8 one time, and 8 goes into 24 3 times. So I will end up with x over 3 pi is equal to 1 over 1. And if I cross multiply, I would get, let me come up here, I would get I would get x is equal to 3 pi. And 3 pi, that turns out to be approximately 9.4. So if we add the 9.4, which is the arc length, to the radius of this circle, or the cover, that's 12 plus 9.4. And that gives us approximately 21.4. And so the closest answer to that would be G, 22.